Jailed for exposing a massacre, Reuters journalists mark 1 year in Myanmar prison.
This post received a score of 36,284, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Reuters tweets out about these two with the ever-increasing count of time they've spent in prison on I think a daily basis, if not then very frequently, and it's just been depressing to see it come up again and again and again. Skeptical smiley face. Here's the original reporting that drew the ire of the government.
Al Jazeera does the same for their journalists in Egypt, among other places.
I saw a piece on AJE yesterday mentioning the Reuters journos as it happens.
Isn't that a lil fucked up? Like hey, this ass-backwards nation with archaic laws and a draconian justice system is holding regular people hostage for the crime of free speech, something we as a global civilization have decided is not a crime. And their most effective course of action is to keep bringing it up so nobody forgets. Edit, phrasing, probably. Not that the whole world held a vote and the consensus was free speech is not a crime, but rather what are clearly the most popular, advanced, frankly just name a positive metric, places and cultures essentially have done that.
A relatively small proportion of the world's population actually have freedom of speech, and even then, that's conditional.
Free speech is an illusion, honestly. Everything comes at a price.
Yes, as intended, but it's not for the government to set the price, because it eventually leads to this.
Most governments in the West values free speech in a way that surpasses any private corporations, at least. Freedom of expression on this website, for example, is non-existent.
As it should be. A company shouldn't be required to host content it disagrees with or may lose them advertising. Anyone can build and host their own website to showcase their ideas.
While true, I still feel that there is a danger here. Perhaps I am just paranoid and need to build myself a tinfoil hat, but still, in a world where corporations have more control over our everyday lives, from marketing, employment, control over an increasing amount of resources, to government policy, it seems to me that we should start to consider protecting our freedom of speech from corporations as much as the government. And #X200B. Going back to my layer of tinfoil.
Journalists, activists and Myanmar civil society groups are calling for the immediate release of two Reuters reporters, exactly 1 year since they were arrested and later jailed for their work exposing a massacre of Rohingya Muslims by members of the military. The fact that they remain in prison for a crime they did not commit calls into question Myanmar's commitment to democracy, freedom of expression and rule of law. Reuters editor-in-chief Stephen J. Adler said, "People of Myanmar deserve the freedoms and democracy they have long been promised, and Wallon and Kya Soeu deserve to be returned to their families and colleagues immediately." The case of Wallon and Kya Soeu was seen as a litmus test for press freedom and democratic rights in the Southeast Asian country. Their subsequent cast a pall over Myanmar's media community, and sparked increased international criticism of the country's de facto leader and Nobel laureate Aung San Suu Kyi. On Tuesday, the Reuters reporters were, as Time magazine's Person of the Year 2018 under the banner The Guardians. Quote, "It's just one of several honors, awards and accolades the pair have received for their work while behind bars."
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.